Hello everyone. Alright, so now we're moving on to our next assignment, which is called the name assignment, and we're going to be using the type tool, the pen tool, and we will be working with our anchor points. I'm going to show you guys how to do a clipping mask, and then we're going to go into some effects, and we're going to work with like stylize and warp. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Go to file, go to new. If you haven't already done so, let's be in print. Make sure you're in inches, always in inches. And I like working in landscape. Okay. And I only made one artboard. I like to show you guys how to create more artboards. You will need 2, possibly 3 artboards today, or when you get to this assignment. Alright, so the type tool. If I right click over here, you can see there's lots of different tools that we can use. Alright, so we have an area type tool. We can type on a path. We can type vertically. You guys get the point. I want to see you guys use some of these tools throughout the semester. So we'll just go to the simple type tool, and it puts in what we call inline text. Type out your name, and then grab your selection tool. And if you hold the shift key down, remember when you go to scale, it'll keep the proportions the same. Okay. So here I have my name. And from here, if you guys want to, you come up here, you can change the font style. As you can see, you can go through any kind of font that you would like. Okay. You can make sure it's selected. You can change it from, bold to regular to, bold condensed. You name it, you can do it. You can also change the size right here. All right, but what we're going to do here is I want to show you guys how to use anchor points and how to manipulate anchor points in this tutorial. And so the first step is select your name, right click, and we have to create outlines. Okay. And now you can see that all the letters are outlined, but we're not done there yet. Okay. For this particular project, I want you guys to break it apart and ungroup it so that way you can work with each individual letter. And how you do that is you select it, right click, and ungroup it. And when you do that, now you can see that I can select each letter individually. Okay. And so what I would like you to do today is first I'm going to zoom in. All right. In this one, you're going to really want to get in there and zoom in on the lettering. And we're going to work with the direct selection tool today. Okay. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to select a letter. And I'm going to zoom in even closer. Okay. You guys really want to get in there and zoom in. Okay. The direct selection tool, the shortcut is A. So I'm going to hit A so I can get back to it. And then you're going to, you see how I hover and it says anchor point here? I can click on any one of these anchor points to activate it, and then I can manipulate it. Let me show you what I mean here. The space bar gives me the hand tool and I can move around. So I'm just going to go down to this guy right here. I'm going to select that anchor point. You actually have to select it to activate it. And there it is. And now I can start to manipulate this anchor point. Okay. I can come up here, activate that anchor point, and I can move it around. Okay, I can do something like this. Okay. Another thing that I can do with my anchor point is I can also play with these handles. As you can see, I have these handlebars. Every anchor point has them. Okay. Some have 2. Some only have 1. Okay, so like when you come to a 90 degree, you're only going to have 1 anchor point, and I'll show you how you can fix that as well. Okay. But I want you guys playing with these handles. Okay. Another thing that you can do with these handles is you can come up here in the pen tool. I can right click in the pen tool, and here you can see I have add anchor point, delete anchor point, and anchor point tool. If I select the anchor point tool and I come over here and grab a handle and I move it, notice that now these two are independent from each other. So when I come and select it, now I can move this handle independent from this handle. Okay, but in order to do so, you must use this anchor point tool, select the handle and move it in order to do so. Okay, so if I come and select this one, you can see that these handles are still connected. All right, they are not independent from each other. Okay, so in order to make them independent, select the anchor tool, move one side, and then you can go back to your direct selection tool, select it, and now you can alter them independently. Another thing that you can do is, for example, on this one, this is a corner anchor. Okay, if I come up, I can see right here that this one tells me that this is a corner anchor and this one is a smooth anchor. So if I select this, now you can see I have two handles and this anchor point is now smooth. Okay, so you can do that on these anchor points as well. If I select this anchor point tool and I come over here and select delete, I can actually delete an anchor. Okay, and if I come over here and right click and go to my add anchor, I can come to my line and I can add an anchor as well. Okay, hopefully you guys all can see that. Okay, so in this project, in this assignment, what I'm looking for, guys, is I would like you to type out your name and have two sets, one up top and one right here, and I would like you to manipulate anchor points on your letters and create a unique design within your name. Okay, another thing that you can do, now that these are independent, you can color each individual letter. Okay, so I can come over here, I can go blue for the fill, I can go red maybe for the stroke, maybe bump it up a little bit so you can see it. Okay, and then I can just go crazy with the coloring and the anchor points and just really go nuts with your name. Okay, so I want two sets that have the anchor points manipulated on your name. Okay, the second set, I'll come over here, is I would like you to get your type tool and size it up. And remember, guys, if you don't want to change the font size and that kind of thing, go the font like that, size it up. Okay, and here I'm going to want two sets as well. And if you like this to one font and you don't want to change it, you can hold down the Alt key and duplicate that out. Okay, if you would like to go crazy with the anchor points and change everything, great, go ahead and do so. But on this set, what I'd like you to do is come up to Effects, go down to Warp, and choose some of these. Just play with it, see what you like. So maybe check out the wave. You can see how it already applied. Okay, if this preview box is not checked, please make sure you check that preview box because it'll allow you to see the changes as you make them. Okay, so I can come over here, I can change the horizontal, I can change vertical, okay, and I can change the bendy part too. Okay, and slide that around. All right, so I'd like to see you play with that as well. Okay, once you have it the way you like, just go ahead and save that. Definitely always change colors and stuff. Let's put your own little spin on things. Okay, give it a stroke, give it a fill. All right, don't be afraid if you want to do a gradient. We've done the gradient assignment. You should know how to do gradients. Don't be afraid to do a gradient in there if you'd like. But I would like you to play with the effects and check the different types of effects that we have, the styles under Warp. And then also, another thing we can do is we can go to Stylize and we can add some feathering, we can add some inner glow, we can add some drop shadows. Okay, so again, if you don't see the preview box checked, make sure you check the preview box because it'll allow you to see the changes as you make them. Okay, so now you can see that shadow is in there, in behind. Okay, and under here you can go multiply, I can go overlay, it'll overlay the work there. Check the preview box. I can see what overlay looks like. That will be a bummer if I have to change that every time in order to see that. So let's go color dodge. Alright, so you should see the changes as they apply. Okay, I can click OK if I like it. I can go up to effects, I can go stylize, maybe do an inner glow. So select a different color. I'm going to select this orange here. There we go. I'm going to preview that. Okay, I can change the opacity. Whoa. Maybe drop down the blur just a little bit. Okay, you can change the opacity, how easily it is to see. Okay, you can change from center to edge, and I'm gonna click OK. All right, so I would like you to play with that. I'd like you to do 2 sets there. Okay, on this third artboard. On this one, we're going to learn how to do a clipping mask. Okay, so what I would like to show you here is, again, get your type tool. And on this one, you can't use the shortcut for the direct selection tool, the V. It doesn't work. If you do that, as you can see, it'll type a V. Okay, so that doesn't work. So on this one, you actually have to go back and select your selection tool. I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to size this back up. Okay. And on this assignment, what you want to try to do, you want to try some big, blocky, thick texts. Okay, so I'm going to come here. One that I know that works pretty well is like Franklin Gothic. Thick. I like to use Gothic Heavy. Okay, so this one right here, this one works really well. I'll have to size that down. Hold down the Shift key. Size it down a little bit. Okay, and if you want to change it, you can make it wider. Okay, or I should say a higher. Extend it. Okay, on this one, I'm going to show you guys how to start bringing in photos, pics, JPEGs, whatever the case may be, and use those with your art. And how you do that is you go up to File, you go to Place, and I'm going to go to my pictures, and I'm going to find some pictures that I already have pre-saved. So I have this ocean graphics. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to bring that in. And as you can see, this thing is really huge, so I'm going to zoom out, Control minus. There we go. I'm going to hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to size this way down and bring it back into my screen here. And stretch it out just a little bit. There we go. I'm going to go back to Control 0, get back in there. Okay, there we go. So now, one of the problems that we have with this though is you can see that I put the picture over the text, and you can't see my text right now. Okay, it's a simple fix. All you need to do is select the image, right click, go to Arrange, and send it to the back. And then you'll see that your text will appear on top. Okay, and now I can move my text around. Another way to do that is to come over to your Layers panel, expand your Layers panel, and here you'll be able to see what I've done here. Okay, so here you can see the link right here. If I select it in here, you can see that it's selected, and you can see that it is behind everything, even the things on the other artboards. Okay, so you can move things within the panel here. Okay, I can select my name right here, and if I wanted to, I could take this, I could bring this all the way up. Okay, and I just want to show you guys how this works. Notice that my image right here is on top of my text, which is behind. Okay, if you want to work in the Layers panel, which you will need to work in the Layers panel eventually, I can just grab this and bring it below, and then it's on top again. Okay, and now what we're going to do with this is we're going to make a clipping mask. And how we do that is I have to draw a little box and make sure that my name and the image is selected. And then I can right click and I can go and select make a clipping mask. And now you can see that the image